Good morning, Coach Tina here. I had a little technical difficulties this morning. We are in the middle of a thunderstorm, lots of clouds overhead, and I think it's affecting my internet. So hopefully you're seeing me. In fact, give me just a moment to get on Facebook and pin this to the top so that other people can jump on as well. So happy to have everybody here on a Monday morning. Who doesn't love a fun live to get us started for our week? Today we are talking about what to do after you own your future. And some of you will recognize that I'm using the own your future concept that some of us got to experience last week. And what I'm talking about is Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins did an event, a 5-day free challenge called Own Your Future. And it was chock full of nuggets, all kinds of wisdom for people to take forward into the next phase of their life. In fact, they said there were over 990,000 people who experienced the material. Now, that doesn't mean they all showed up for the live. It means that they, in some way or the other, registered, were listening to it, watched it in different replays and so on over that 5 days. But wow, that's a lot of people. And, Dean continues to press that envelope and push past the 4-minute mile, right? Like for him, it's the 1 million people in a event. It's pretty exciting for them and for us, because I like the energy of people that want to work on themselves. And while the free challenges are people who are just getting started often and don't really know about self-development and haven't really figured out what it is they want to do in life yet, there's a lot of really good positive energy. I think a lot of us haven't been fed good things for a long time. And so they were expecting it just to be blasé, and then I think they were thrilled. Of course, I'm started already, so I guess I should hide that, huh? They were thrilled with the fact that they were getting good, usable information. Now, it was 5 days, and some of you might have participated in my support group, meaning that at the end of each day, we got together and we just talked about what we covered. And it was great for me because it gave me the impetus to actually show up every day, watch the material, take notes on the material, and then talk it out so that it would stick better. I reduced my notes into just 2 pages of information. And you'll notice there's one line highlighted here. Each one of those lines could be its own live. There was so much good thought processing going on, but I'm just going to focus on the one highlighted line today. And I'm going to check, see if we have any comments going on. If you are watching right now, go ahead and comment #live or #replay later. If you have to catch this at another time, I completely understand. And if you don't know me yet, I am Coach Tina. I am the founder of the Empowering Champions Group. I am also a certified ULA life coach, helping women live their best life possible. And I am a mastermind course creator. And I threw that last one in because Own Your Future is run by Dean Graziosi. He has a business with Tony Robbins, and they created a platform called mastermind.com. And Dean, I've been following him for about 4 years now, has been taking people on this journey of what he started out calling knowledge brokering, which is, what do you know and how can you share that with other people and help them on their journey? So your knowledge helps other people not take so long to figure things out. And so it moved on to be called Project Next Level. And then this time they have created what they call Launchpad. And it's the same system, but with an 8-week jumpstart, get you going, get you excited about their materials. You have the opportunity to use the platform and some of their new tools. And, you can take that as a big sales pitch because there was sales in there. But I truly believe, after watching Dean for this many years, that he has a heart to really help. similar to mine, by the way. And he really wants to push people to that next level. He wants to take people on this journey into their future to be the best self possible. And obviously that resonates with me, and hopefully that resonates with you. What I'm going to cover in today's live is 3 questions that one of the gentlemen's, I believe it was Jim Quick. He does brain work. He had recovered from a young age from a traumatic brain injury. And he said there were 3 questions that we should be asking whenever we are learning. And because we are in the Empowering Champions very much a learning community, meaning that a lot of us are lifelong learners committed to taking in all the information. I don't know about you, but I was that A student that always had to study, get my, learn more. And as I have grown up, the same thing. I just want information. Problem is, I patterned that out for so long that I didn't quite understand that you were supposed to take action on that information. And as a result, I didn't have the kind of outcomes that I thought I should be having. So if you have been following along, you know that we are kind of in a transition period. Over the summer, I took a hiatus and did a bunch of replays. And now we are in that place where summer's over, some people in the United States and Canada, some people are just nearing the end of their summer. Maybe there's a week, maybe there's 2 weeks before things start up again. I grew up with the traditional, you don't start school until till Labor Day. And that was what was considered summer, from the Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend. Now, through no fault of anybody out there, we have accelerated things and changed it so that now summer doesn't have that crisp ending. But we still kind of know in the Labor Day weekend that, we're now coming into fall. But what I want to do today is cover those 3 questions with you. And I'm just going to admit, I don't have a banner to go across. I did not get up this morning in time to do that. So apologies. But I think we're going to be just fine, because the first one is these are questions that we can ask anytime we have been given information, and we can start to apply it. So the question is, how can I use this? So when we sit down to take a class from somebody, whether it's a workshop, a challenge, an online course, interacting with anybody in our day, maybe reading a book, we want to ask, how can I use this? And that will help us. It will support us in our efforts of deciding what we need to do. Because if we're just taking stuff in and it's not benefiting us, if there isn't a purpose for it, there's just not enough time in the day to do all that stuff. So maybe the purpose is, if it's something like watching a Netflix, if it's just to give you a chance to chill, that's good for about a half an hour, right? Like, we all do need to relax. We push ourselves a little bit too hard most times. But I'm not a proponent of Netflix, because what happens is that 30 minutes turns into another 30 minutes, turns into another 30 minutes, turns into another 30 minutes. And then we just binge and we don't want to get up. We've wasted our time. We might as well invest more into the thing that's not giving us any future value. And we have to be guardians of the 24 hours we're given. We have to be taking care of our bodies, right? So there's sleep in there, there's eating in there, there's time with our family. And then there's time doing the thing that we're on this earth to do. You know how I like to say, we are designed by God for greatness and a purpose. When we are in line with our purpose, when we have clarity with what it is we're supposed to be doing, it makes it much easier to answer the question of, how can I use this? Because you can apply it to the concept of your future project, the thing that matters to you, your purpose. How's that sit? Go ahead, drop that in there. How can I use this? And you need to be applying that to everything that you're doing. The second question is, why must I use this? And the emphasis is on the must, okay? In the Own Your Future, Tony said several times, when you think you can't do something, that's when you need to say, I must do this. Can't and resistance within you is an opportunity for you to say, something is going on here. I have a conflict. Usually it's from within, and that conflict is creating a scenario that is having me resist or stay away from, procrastinate maybe is how you might interpret it, the thing that I know I need to do, but I'm not doing. So you have to create an urgency within yourself about what it is you want to do. The thing is, if you want to own your future, take responsibility for the outcomes that you are getting, you have to do the work. It is a requirement, and you must do it. It can't be that someday this is going to happen, or when things get better, this is going to happen, or when everything is perfectly lined up, I can step into that. And I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that I need to do this in my life as well. This is not something that just a few of us need to take on. This is life. We have to have a sense of urgency. No one's creating deadlines for our future for us, right? We don't know how many days we have left. We don't know how much time we have to get to our big outcome. So we have to make the most of the time that we do have, which is the present. That's why people focus on meditation and staying in the moment and not getting so focused on the past or what has to happen in the future. You stick with what can I do now? And that all comes into play as to why is it so important to get started, to get going, to do something, to take those actions. That's why I preach so big on goal setting, because when we have clarity about what it is we're trying to do, then we can take that action. If it's all up in our head and we're overwhelmed and in a state of, I'm not sure how to move forward with this, we're probably not going to see the results that we want. And the hard part is that the more we don't take action, the more distance we get from what it is we think we should be doing, and the less likely we are to notice. It's like this fog starts to come in, and maybe you see glimpses through the mist of, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Or you'll be driving home one day and you'll be thinking, oh yeah, I need to do that. But then by the time you get home, you don't document it. You don't take an action. You don't recognize that it's there. So we need to wake up to the moment and realize. And that's why big events in our life, trauma, things will happen and it will jolt us, and we'll be like, oh no, I must. We'll get a health scare. We'll get a death of a friend or a family member. Something will happen and we'll start to recognize, I'm not happy where I am. Very similar to the concept of putting the frogs in the boiling water, right? If you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump out. But if you take that pot of water and you put the frogs in cooler water and you turn the heat up, they won't jump out. They will start to relax. They will get comfortable, and they will die in the water because they didn't take the action to get out. Sit on that for a minute, right? Don't be the frog getting comfortable in that warmer and warmer water, and make it so that you are incapable of taking that immediate action to save your life, right? And the third thing to ask yourself when you get new information, when you're embarking on that life of your dreams, is, when will I use this information? Tony, and I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, right? He says, do not move to the next step without documenting when you're going to take action on it. So in that class, when you're reading that book, when you've just had a conversation that was outstanding, when you've watched a live that just like lit you up, pull out your date book. I've got mine sitting right here. This is a fantastic planner. If you're looking for a recommendation, it's called a planner pad. I can tell you more about it if you want it. But what you want to do is take your planner out and immediately schedule it. Schedule an action you are going to take on the topic that you are learning, on the material that you are doing. Don't just sit back and think, oh yeah, I'm going to remember this, because we don't. I can't tell you the number of times I have had this great epiphany in a class, and I've come home, sat down with my husband, and started to tell him, I'm like, oh, there was this great thing that I learned. And in just the couple of hours that will have transpired, I can't recall it to that depth that I uniquely got it in the class, because I didn't take notes or didn't put into action some aspect of it that allowed it to almost like cement into me. And it's so easy to just think that you've got it when you haven't. And I don't want that for you, because I want you guys to have your future the way that you envision it. You know, we are given our dreams for a reason. Trent Sheldon was one of the speakers this week, and he's just so good at making you get back on fire with what you're meant to do in your life, and that your dream is your dream and no one else has to understand it. And you just have to own your dream, your future. And interestingly enough, as I went through my summer hiatus, what I determined was there were things that I want to do to move my dream forward. And my dream is helping you guys, right? So I had to orchestrate a plan for what I wanted to do moving forward. So my plan is for the future of this group and how I can best help you live your dreams. And so I am devising a September masterclass. It will be the first week, full week, not for the Labor Day weekend, of the future that I envision, how we could work together as a community. This has been something that I have been working on for quite a while, trying to get us to the place where I would feel comfortable with how to help the people in our community. And I thank each and every one of you for your patience as I have been on my journey to figure out how best to take everybody else on their journey. I called it Empowering Champions for a reason, because I want to support growth in all of us. In fact, my Tony Robbins purpose for my life is to joyfully celebrate growth. And that's not just my growth, you guys. That's growth in each and every one of you. And it's all going to kick off in this September masterclass. Now, I don't have a name for it yet. So I'm going to be using the next few weeks as we build up into that time period for you to help me name our masterclass, because I want it to be on a topic that really resonates with our community. So it's going to be about our future, but we're going to name it and we're going to fill it with information that is vitally important to you and your journey to the future, specifically this next year. There was one thing, I said I was only going to read one thing off of my notes, but I'm going to read one more. And that is, how will you be unfamiliar to yourself in 1 year in a positive way? And that's really what I want to impress on us is I want us to start tracking our growth over the next year. And we're in August, but I want us to track Labor Day next year. What is that going to look like? 1 year, September to September. How will you change your life for the better? That is what we are going to be focused on. If that sounds exciting to you, please put in the comments, future, or what about that resonates with you? And I will make sure that you are on our are basically our list of people that want to move forward into this future process, that we can support each other, inspire each other's growth, and really be a community of like-minded women who are reaching out and expanding and becoming the best versions of ourselves. It's something I really am passionate about, and I hope that you will be excited about it as well. And I do apologize if you have been commenting. I haven't seen the comments yet. I am looking at my phone, and for some reason, when I am live, it just does not want to let me see the comments. So please know that I will respond to you afterwards. And those of you watching on the replay, I'll be checking this, looking for interaction. You can always reach me through a private message, DM me, or you can go to my life coach business page. My Facebook business page is Coach Tina, Design for Greatness and a Purpose. And on that page, I get more notification if you want to reach me. So you can message me through that page and we can have a more real-time conversation. And that, my friends, is it for this week. I hope you have a utterly fantastic week, whether you're in your last week of summer or starting your beginning of whatever is next for you. Enjoy the day and go get your best life. Take care.